Imagine breaking your leg 50,000 years ago. No hospitals, no emergency help, no painkillers, no rescue, no second chance. Just silence. Cold ground beneath you, blood soaking into the dirt, and the terrifying realization that no one is coming. Because in this world, even a small wound is not just an injury. It is a countdown. A slow, invisible race between your body and something you cannot see. And most of the time, that race ends the same way. So how did humans survive a world like this? Not just survive, but eventually spread across every continent on Earth. To understand that, we have to go back to a time before medicine, before hospitals, before science even had a name. A world where survival wasn't normal, it was rare. And yet somehow, humans made it through ice ages, predators, starvation, and infections that today would be easily treatable. For a long time, people believed ancient humans barely lived past 30. But that's not really true. That number is heavily distorted by one thing: childhood death. Many children never survived infections, injuries, or difficult births. But if someone made it past those dangerous early years, their chances changed dramatically. They could live into their 60s, sometimes even 70s. Not as rare exceptions, but as real possibilities. And their bodies prove it. Ancient skeletons showed dense bones and powerful frames, shaped by constant movement. Every day was physical labor. Every step meant walking miles. Every hunt demanded endurance. There were no gyms, because the entire world was the gym. But even all that strength was not enough. Because the real enemy was not something you could outrun or fight. It was something invisible. A single cut from stone tools, a broken tooth, a small wound from hunting. At first, nothing serious, but then infection would begin silently. No antibiotics, no antiseptic, no understanding of what was happening. Only fever, swelling, pain, and then death. So the real question becomes this: if infection was so deadly, why didn't humans die out completely? Part of the answer is inside our own biology. Early humans were constantly exposed to raw food, untreated water, soil, and animals. Their world was not clean, but it was biologically rich. And this constant exposure trained their immune systems in ways modern humans rarely experience. Their bodies learned to fight constantly. But even that was not enough for every situation, because some injuries were beyond what the body alone could handle. And this is where things become truly shocking. Scientists studying ancient remains discovered something hidden inside fossilized teeth of a Neanderthal in Spain. Inside hardened dental plaque, they found traces of poplar bark. This is important because poplar contains a natural chemical that the body converts into something very similar to aspirin, a natural pain reliever. But that wasn't all. They also found evidence of a type of mold related to penicillin, the foundation of modern antibiotics. This means tens of thousands of years ago, long before science, laboratories, or written language, humans were already using natural substances to treat pain and infection. Not randomly, but intentionally. Which suggests knowledge was being passed down, tested, and trusted. Nature was not just their environment, it was their medicine. But even nature had limits, because there are injuries no plant can repair. And that becomes clear in one of the most powerful discoveries in archaeology. In a cave called Shanidar in what is now Iraq, scientists found a Neanderthal skeleton that should not have survived. This individual had suffered multiple severe injuries. A damaged skull that likely affected vision, a withered arm that was almost useless, a badly injured leg that caused a permanent limp, and signs of hearing loss. In a survival-based world, any one of these injuries could have been fatal, but this person lived for years after them, which means something extraordinary must have happened. He was cared for, fed when he could not hunt, protected when he could not defend himself, and carried when he could not walk. In a world where every resource mattered, someone still chose to keep him alive. Not because he was useful in the moment, but because he was part of them. And that single discovery changes everything we thought we knew about ancient humans. We often assume survival belongs to the strongest individual. But in reality, humans evolved a different advantage entirely: cooperation. Knowledge did not stay locked inside one person, it moved between people. A plant that healed a wound, a warning about poison, a method to clean infection, all of it was shared. Passed from one generation to the next, from one fire to another. Slowly, something powerful emerged. A collective intelligence spread across the entire group. No single human could survive alone, but together they built a system of survival stronger than any predator or environment. So when we ask how ancient humans survived without doctors or hospitals, the answer is not simple strength or luck. They survived because their bodies adapted to a harsh world, because their knowledge came from experience and memory, and because their survival was never individual. It was shared, protected, collective. And maybe the most important truth of all is this: the greatest medical system in human history was never built in a hospital. It was built around a fire, inside a tribe, in the quiet decision to not abandon someone who could not survive alone. Because in the end, humans did not conquer the world through strength alone. They did it through connection. And maybe that is something we still need to remember today. In a world where survival is easier than ever, but connection is becoming harder than ever. If this made you see the past differently, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.